So as most of you know, we've been in Thessaloniki, Greece for the last several days working with the A21 campaign. The A21 campaign stands for Abolishing Injustice in the 21st Century. To us that seems so overwhelming, but we found so much hope in the work that's being done here through the people that are here, and it's been such an encouragement just to see them fighting for this cause and for something that just really breaks the heart of God. And so we've had an incredible experience. We've downloaded a ton of information into our heads that's been crazy overwhelming, but like I said, there's been a glimmer of hope in that information as well. So I just wanted to take a little bit of time just to kind of break down some of the information that we've received as a team and kind of what we're taking away from this and what you guys at home in the States can do about this issue, because it is a global issue. We've learned a ton about what's happening here in Greece and why Greece is so vulnerable to the human trafficking issue, but it is absolutely global. We actually watched a video on our second night here, and DC was one of the places that was highlighted on the video as a place that was human trafficking was taking place. And so talk about hitting our hearts hard, sitting in Greece watching a video about something that's an issue in our very own backyards. And so this is a global issue, and it's something that breaks the heart of God. And we aren't just fighting, we aren't driven by a cause, we're driven by Christ for a cause. And so I hope this information will move you to action as it's moved us to action. The first thing is just that there's 27 million slaves in the world today. That's more than any time in our history. And 99% of them are not rescued, or at least not yet. And I just love that that we're fighting for this. 80% of those 27 million are women and kids, and the average age of those that are human trafficked is 14. And so we're talking so many kids that are just going through this this horrible system and process. And so just a few other facts. Human trafficking is a $32 billion industry. It's second only to the weaponry industry. So that means it's above the drug industry and the drug trafficking. A trafficker was actually interviewed and asked why humans and not drugs. And first he said humans are cheaper. Second, he said you can sell a human over and over and over, versus drugs, you sell them once and they're out of your hands. And third, he said that humans are easier to transport and to get into transit. He said, I can kick a human and she will go. And so we can see that this human trafficking issue is just such a problem in the world, and we can see through their eyes, unfortunately, that it's low risk and high profit, and that's why the human trafficking is taking place. We learned this week that awareness is not only the biggest problem, but it's also the best solution. And they were saying at A21 that they believe that if everyone in the world was aware of human trafficking, it wouldn't be happening. Because it is absolutely awful and disgusting, the conditions and the stories that are coming out of the girls and the children that are being trafficked in our world. And so if we were all aware, then this wouldn't be happening. And so it's been so great as a team to just become aware of this issue and being forced to respond in one way or another. And so what can we do? A21 in particular kind of has 4 areas that they're working in. The first is prevention. So they're going into schools and trying to cut off the demand for this industry, educating people before this even happens. Because if they can catch people and educate them and make them aware before it takes place, then we wouldn't have to worry about it. We asked Phil, one of the leaders of A21, what his biggest hope was and what he sees as what drives him to keep doing this. And he said the biggest hope is the next generation. And so I just love that their heart for prevention is to educate not only the boys that are the demand for the sex industry, but also the girls that are in places of high vulnerability to be trafficked into the sex industry. The second one is protect, and that includes rescuing the girls and rescuing the victims of human trafficking, and then putting them into safe houses where they can be cared for. And first things first is to place value back onto their lives. And we became aware of all the programming and everything that they do with the girls, and It's just a really cool process that they have here and a really cool program that they have set up. The third one is prosecute. They are going after these traffickers as hard as they can. A21 personally, they've had 3 cases and they've won all 3 cases, which just shows the favor of God and shows that He's behind this issue with them. They actually just prosecuted a guy a couple weeks ago, and he got 15 years in prison and 75,000 euros, and that's a worse punishment than murder is in Greece. So we just see that that they are moving forward to get these people behind bars and in prison for what they've done. The fourth thing that A21 is doing is partnering with local law enforcement, with service organizations, with community organizations, with schools and all of that to educate them on how they can better be a part of this issue and help fight it with them. So they're partnering with people and also partnering with people across the world just like us so that we can raise awareness for this issue and be a part of it. For you guys at home, I would just encourage you to get on the A21 website. It's the A21 Campaign.org, and just read the stories and read the FAQs and read what they're doing to fight this issue and read the facts and all the information that you can gather and just educate yourselves on what's happening in our world. I love that a girl that works in the A21 office, she was talking to us on her first or second day here, and she said that she said basically that injustice thrives in the dark, and we're called to shine our light in the dark places. And she said, what is our light without darkness? Light doesn't matter without darkness, and so we're called to go into the dark places. So I don't know what your dark place is and where you need to take the information that hopefully our team is passing on through this blog and through the videos and through our own experiences and stories that you might hear back at home. But I would just encourage you to go into the dark places that God's calling you to go to and just shine the light wherever that is. I think it's Nelson Mandela says that everything is impossible until it's done. And that's how the people here on the ground are viewing this issue of human trafficking. They see that in a lot of ways it seems impossible, but with every girl rescued, they recognize that it can be done. And so I would just encourage you to get behind this. If you have any questions, please just let us know as a team. Anybody on our team would love to answer any questions and encourage you and let you know how you can get better involved. But go to the website, the A21Campaign.org, and let's do something about this, and let's be the church.